and 7 crates in the safe box. Cash bundle. On top of that, further on, we introduced the following solutions. We now store cash bundles in separate crates in the safe box. We set the maximum amount of cash after the cash collector's visit. We
Настя заработала, поэтому ты можешь включать все работает.
Хорошо, отлично.
Господи, но только все равно на запись.
Да, хорошо.
Не дай бог, я не готова.
Хорошо. Да. Заводу. Introduced. The maximum sum of cash that can be left after the cash collector's visit. Exchange is now delivered from a bank. Change is now delivered from a bank in tubes. Now delivered so much change from the bank and in tubes. Cash collectors arrive 3 times a week, but not 2 times a week as it was before. So now it's not complete. Morning, guys. Let's start our weekly meeting, and here we have a video for business developers. Here we have our newcomers. Alisa Balashova, our new IT editor. Vasily Maleev, he is our new Dodo-meeting developer. And Vladislav Mandrika, he is our new procurement manager. Hi again, guys. My name is Alona Tarka. I work in the contact center team. Today I'm going to tell you about the loyalty of the customer and why it is so important. What loyalty is? Customers' loyalty is. It means that customers love our company, they perceive our products positively, and are ready to order our product. Why is it so important to gain customers' loyalty? Customers are more loyal to us and less sensitive to prices change, and we gain more profit. However, it is not always we have positive experience and our clients and customers have positive experience. Sometimes they gain negative experience, and a customer in this case addresses a call center. The call center accepts the feedback and forms a ticket. Ticket is transferred to a partner. Sorry. Oops. After that, a partner receives the ticket and contacts the customer. He needs to find the solution and rebuild customers' loyalty. Let's take a look at a real case. Alexei addressed us. His pizza was burned. Alexei told us about it, and his feedback was received by the contact center. We transferred this feedback to our partner. However, our partner just apologized. On top of that, a client received the apology in 15 days only, almost half of the month. If Alexei addressed, for instance, another pizza store, he could have had another solution for his problem. Probably a partner would provide a promo code for unsatisfied customer. So we created an entire compensation system. We evaluated the problems. In our contact center, we had about 250 problems, and we divided it into 4 categories: feedback, error, critical error, individual situation. And we created a list of compensation for each category. We decided to test this tool and carried out an experiment. Most often, our customers face the following problem. Do you know what this problem is? Yes, you are right. Undelivered sources, forgotten sources. In this case, if a client did not receive a source, he received a promo code for 50 or 100 rubles. During the experiment, return customers' rate increased by 9%. Time spent for finding the solution reduced by 0. And time required to communicate with the client decreased to 4.5 hours. When clients address us by email, they have an opportunity to evaluate the response to their problem. And during the experiment, we gained more positive scores, 5s. So we deem that experiment was very successful and decided to test it in retail. Yulia Guseva worked with us. This tool works very good. So how it will work for our partners now? Here you can see a feedback from Maxim. His pizza was burned also. So this feedback is received by the contact center, then it is transferred to our partner. Our partner uses compensation calculator, introduces all the information about the type of the problem and receives a solution, gets a solution. We still test this tool for the entire chain. So far, this calculator is a separate form, but further on, we are going to introduce it directly into the system used by the contact center. If you have any feedback, questions, or comments, please email me. Hi guys, morning. My name is Evgeny Leontiev. My project is logistics. I'm responsible for the delivery of products to pizza stores so they could have products to cook pizza. It's my first presentation. Today I'm gonna tell you a little bit about logistics. Last year, we developed logistic mission. It is to support development of our partners, providing a reliable supply of pizza stores in our city, in any city, at the best possible cost. We would like that our team would work efficiently. Here you see how logistics in our key market in Eurasia works. Products from factories of our partners are delivered to warehouses of our strategic partner, East-West Company. Then the products are delivered to the regional warehouses in St. Petersburg, Moscow, Krasnodar. What's interesting, most complaints of our partners relate to the service. It means that at the first two levels, reliability and low costs, we perform well. Our partner, East West, supports us. However, we had many complaints about the service. So we had too many tasks and projects. We had too much tasks. So we needed to do something with that. We found a systemic solution. We addressed our partners. We conducted polls in email and in groups. We facilitated visits in the distribution centers. We collected feedback. Further on, we organized the meeting, the round table, where our partners, the employees of East West company, could cooperate. And as a result, we created a list of projects, tasks related to each area of work. The question was how to implement all these projects. Our resources are limited. It is also relevant for logistics. And these projects require much resources. So we were thinking, what should we do to implement all the projects, but slowly, or choose just a couple of them? And on one of our meetings, we decided to create a project group with Dodo partners. We engage our partners into the work and support them in implementing projects. At first, it seemed very simple, but the result was huge. We started to implement very difficult projects that were in backlog for a long time. What's important? Our priorities now were right, and our partners could benefit from that. From 3 projects in the beginning of the year, we moved to 9 projects, 9 OKR, for the second quarter. It relates to electronic document flow, delivery of products, and many other projects. What's most important, I would like to thank the employees of our franchise who are actively engaged in our work. Thank you, Mikhail Nedodaev. He works in the following areas: order form, complaints form, automatic order processing. Thank you, Sergei Kolesnikov from Nizhny Novgorod. He works in the area of complaints processing. Thank you, Dmitry Ilyukhin from Samara. He is involved in electronic document project. Thank you, Levan Chikobava from Moscow. He prepares articles about mercury and veterinary documents. And thank you guys, thank you all who help us to implement our work. I suggest that our partners involve and be a part of our groups on logistics. Thank you guys and have a great week. Now I give the floor to Yaroslav. Hi guys, my name is Yaroslav. I'm a teaching manager. My topic for today is how to balance cash register transactions and not to impose fines on employees. What inconsistencies are? We receive cash and electronic money for our products, and we need to manage this money flow. Different people operate in this area. Cashier works with the cash register, and manager works in this area also. He's responsible for closing the shift. Inconsistencies appear this way. For instance, we take 1,000 rubles from the safe box for change and put it into cash registry. It means that we have minus 1,000 rubles in the safe box and plus 1,000 rubles in the delivery cash registry. So we have inconsistencies for 2,000 rubles. Here you can see the total errors accounted for 1.5 million rubles. It doesn't mean that we were robbed. It's poor accounting. What we do here. In September, I started to evaluate the errors, and each time I addressed the manager regarding certain error. First, we received some positive results, but by December we spent all our resources on preparation for the new year, and we saw a regress. So you see here that errors amounted to 0.85% of total revenue in the chain. So our results were poor, and we decided to do the following. In February, we introduced a new OKR to balance cash register transactions. Our goal is the following. Our errors should account for 0.03% of the total revenue. It is approximately 1,000 rubles per pizza store with the revenue of 3 million rubles. We started the practices used by our partners, and we wanted to introduce liability for our employees. It was so tempting. It was the simplest solution for us. However, we decided to ask ourselves. Take, for instance, any employee from the kitchen and ask him, were you taught to deal with the cash register? He will answer no. So we need to teach our employees. And first, we need to teach them and not to introduce fines for their mistakes. We decided to create an instruction for our managers, but not texts or video instructions. We created a special website where we collected the main principles of work at the cash register. So we created a tool that can be used by a newly appointed manager easily. Instructions were easy to understand. The second solution was to teach acting shift managers. Each week we have meetings and elaborate on certain details. For instance, we explain why cashiers have to be prepared and have to be ready for cash collector's visit, and why we need to leave as little cash in a pizza store after this visit as possible. On top of that, we introduced a strict cash register culture. Manager does not leave until he addresses all the inconsistencies. If a manager cannot do that by himself, he calls the pizza store manager, even if it's too late. Then they call a regional manager if they cannot address this issue, and then they call me if they cannot address the issue. And only if we all together cannot find the solution, the manager can go home. However, by the morning we know all the details and we address the accounting office and find the right solution. On top of that, we introduce the following solutions. We receive change from a bank in tubes. It's easier to count them this way. Cash collectors visit us 3 times a week, but not 2 times a week. The first problem that we have is that not managers realized how important to follow the rules. Nobody goes home. And we created a backlist. On top of that, we introduced an approach: teach, heal, kill. If a manager just goes home when he has inconsistencies, he is blacklisted and ask the administrator to address the manager. If a manager does this for the second time, it's me who talks to him personally. If the situation repeats for the third time, then we realize that the manager just don't understand what's going on and he may be displaced. This rule is very important. The cash register discipline is very important and there is no room for human factor in there. So far, we blacklisted 40 managers and no one was displaced. Our results are the following. In March and April, they were the following. In March, 5 out of 20 pizza stores performed well. Our errors accounted to 0.10% of all revenue. In April, errors accounted for 62,000 rubles, which is 0.08% of the total revenue. Here you can see that the number of errors decreased. We know all about these errors. We had cases when we received forged money, and in one case we had a burglar who had just stole money from our safe box. So what we have now, we taught people, which is very important. We created a system that allows us to keep an eye on all inconsistencies. Teaching and abiding the rules, that's what's important for our results. Thank you so much. And now I give the floor to Fedor. Thank you. I'm so glad to see you here. It's been a month when I was not here, and I see many new faces. Yaroslav told us about inconsistencies in the cash register, and me, it seems like I came from the future. In China, to close the shift, you just need to push the button. We don't work with cash there. It's been a month I spent out of Russia. I'm not gonna spend all my time in China. I'm not gonna focus on China entirely. I spent much time in Russia also. In 10 minutes, I'm gonna tell you about the latest news. I have already written about that. What we've done in China is a huge achievement. China is a very complicated market. It is far from us, and we introduced a completely new idea, completely new concept in this market, which is huge. Due to our agile approach, it was possible. Thank you to the team that was involved in this project. Our lawyers, accountants, food photographers were working on this project very actively. 2-3 days before the opening of a pizza store, we finalized our recipes. What's our idea in China? Here you can see the world of future for delivery. It already exists in China. Food delivery is controlled by two giant companies, two giant aggregators. 4 or 5 years ago, China started to develop food delivery. So aggregators are super effective and super efficient. How can we work on this market? Our question was. We work in China for 2 years already. Our task is to stop our dependence on aggregators. 2 years ago, when we came to China, we used Western model of pizza stores. We opened pizza stores in remote areas. However, the Western model, the European model, does not work in China because we depend too much on aggregators. We need to become visible and create our own channel of customers. When we have our own channel of new customers, we work sustainably. So we will have future in this market. Our task is to create traffic and then create points of sales. We must have delivery using aggregators, but in the future we are going to create our own system for delivery. We had a choice when we started to enter the Chinese market to follow Pizza Hut, Papa John's approach. It's a casual dining with waiters. It's just a regular restaurant, but this market is super competitive. So we decided to take the approach of a new retail to create a mass format focused on takeaway. So our approach does not compete with the casual dining. Our approach is closer to QSR, quick service restaurant. So we had an idea. It's a pizza store of future. We don't have cashiers in these pizza stores. Everything works in WeChat application. So the question is, does our model work? So far, not exactly. Our model is a classical VP, minimum viable product. I didn't expect that we launch a completely new concept, a completely new idea, and it will be super efficient. We need to start and then step by step adjust certain things. So we still need to develop our idea, our project. And first of all, we need to focus on the product. Pizza in China is not the most popular product. It is associated with Western food. Many people say that pizza brand is spoiled because many Chinese pizza stores provide poor product for their customers. Even Pizza Hut is not super efficient in China in terms of product quality. But I think that pizza is a very good product. We can adjust and use the ingredients attractive for the market we work in. So we need to create the product attractive for the Chinese. Here you can see the feedback service that is used in China, similar to TripAdvisor. We have 45 scores there. Most of them are positive. The product we have now, we are not satisfied with it. We know how to improve it. This product, even this product, attracts customers and customers return for this product. You know, I think that the Chinese market is a completely new planet. You know, there are two civilizations in the world, China and the Western civilization. China differs strongly from the Western countries, so there were not so many Western companies who were successful at the Chinese market. Our plan is to develop actively in China. This is a huge market. Our team goes to China soon on the 11th of June, and I think that these people just go to a completely different planet with a completely different conditions. China is our great future. Keep an eye on our development there. Thank you guys and have a great day.